friends. Hello. Welcome to Alay's Place. Today we're going to be doing some stories and scribbles. We are going to read one of my favorite stories of all time, A Mama for Owen by Marion Dane Bauer. And after we read, we are going to draw a picture inspired by the characters of the story, who are Owen the hippo and Mazee the tortoise. So I hope you enjoy listening to the story, and I definitely hope that you go grab your markers, crayons, whatever you have, some paper, and join me for the drawing at the very end. Let's read the story, A Mama for Owen, by Marion Dane Bauer, illustrated by John Butler. A Mama for Owen. A Mama for Owen by Marion Dane Bauer, illustrated by John Butler. Owen was a very young hippo. He lived with his mother, his father, his aunts, and his cousins in the Sabaki River in Africa. Owen loved the river, but even more, he loved his great grayish-brown, or was she brownish-gray, mama. Every day, Owen and his mama slept together, they swam together, they ate together. Even when mama left the river to graze in the moonlight, Owen followed close behind her stubby tail. Best of all, Owen loved to play hide and seek. Mama hid, and Owen found her. And every time he found his mama, he licked her friendly face, laid his head on her broad back, and smiled his great pink smile. But all that was before the rain began to fall. The rain fell, and it fell, and it fell. The Sabaki River rose, and it rose, and it rose. The river ran faster and faster and faster. The river rose so high and ran so fast that it washed Owen and his mother and his father and his aunts and his cousins all the way out to sea. Owen roared for his mama, but his mama did not answer. He roared louder, "No, mama!" He searched and searched, but his mama wasn't hiding. She was lost. And Owen was alone in the sea. He roared and roared and roared until finally he lost even his roar. And that was when the great wave came and washed Owen back to shore. Owen was befuddled and weak and very, very sad. He looked all around this new place. This wasn't his river. He looked around some more. Where was his mama? Then Owen saw something brownish gray, or was it grayish brown? He wasn't sure. But he staggered over and snuggled down next to it. And the very old tortoise, whose name was Mazee, lay very still while Owen waited for sleep to come. When Owen woke, He looked again at the tortoise. Mizzy was colored, just like his mama. Mizzy was large, just like his mama. Mizzy had stayed very close when Owen needed him, just like his mama used to do. Owen laid his head on Mizzy's broad back and slept some more. Now Owen and Mizzy sleep together. They swim together. They eat together. Whenever Mizzy goes for a walk, moonlight or sunlight, Owen follows close behind his stubby tail. Owen's favorite game is still hide and seek. Mizzy slips beneath the water and Owen plunges in to find him. Mizzy nestles in the long grass and Owen peers through the grass until he spots him. Mizzy rests behind a rock and Owen searches and searches until there's Mizzy. And whenever Mizzy takes a nap, tucked away inside his brownish gray, or is it grayish brown shell, Owen waits and waits and waits until he can find Mizzy once more. Then, when he finds Mizzy, Owen licks his friendly face, lays his head on the tortoise's broad back, and smiles his great pink smile. The end. Author's note. The story of Owen and the giant tortoise named Mizzy, which means old man in Swahili, is a true one. Owen was rescued by the Kenya Wildlife Service and local fishermen after the hippopotamus and his family were washed down the Sabaki River by a flood, and he was brought back to shore by a tsunami wave. Owen was less than a year old. Hippopotamus calves ordinarily stay with their mothers for 4 years, and no one could find his mother. So they brought him to Haller Park, a nature preserve outside of Mombasa. There, the lonely young hippo chose Mizzy, a 130-year-old male tortoise, to be his mother. And Mizzy doesn't seem to mind one little bit. The end. Did you guys like that story? This is absolutely one of my favorite books ever. I love it. All right, favorite friends, now we are going to do our drawing inspired by the picture on the back of the book of Mizzy and Owen walking together in the moonlight. What you'll need is some paper. I'm going to use a marker to draw my outlines, and I am going to be using my Mr. Sketch crayons. You can use any crayons you have. If you don't have a marker, that's okay. You can use a pencil to do your drawing. I am going to try to draw this picture here of Mizzy the tortoise and Owen the hippopotamus. And remember, we are just drawing for fun. It does not have to be perfect. I'm just going to do my best and see what happens. Just have a good time drawing with you today. Very first thing I'm going to do is decide where I want to put them. I think I'm going to go with Mizzy leading the way and Owen the hippo behind him. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw Mizzy's tortoise shell. So to draw a tortoise shell, very first thing you have to do is draw a hill, sort of yeah, like a hill or a curvy line. So that's the very first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to draw a hill. Okay. I'm happy with that. You try it. Okay, next step is the bottom of his shell, which is a curved line but going the opposite direction or downwards. So I'm going to start at the back again, and I'm going to draw a curved line going downwards. Just like that. How'd you do? Okay, next I'm going to draw Mizzy's head. So I'm going to draw my 2 lines for his neck first. I'm going to draw one here, and I'm going to kind of draw him going upward a little bit because he's walking in the moonlight, having a good time. And another line this way, peeking out of his shell. And then I'm going to draw his head. So for his head, I'm going to draw an oval shape at the top, and I'm going to just draw an oval shape to connect the 2 lines, just like this. There. Now I'm going to draw his eye, and I'm just going to draw a circle or a dot for his eye and a curved line for his mouth. And now I'm going to draw his legs. And for his legs, I'm going to try to draw them with a curved line, kind of like a boomerang shape, to show that he's walking in the moonlight with his hippo friend, Owen. So a boomerang shape looks like this. So it shows that his knee is a little bit bent and he's walking forward. So I'm going to draw 2 lines like that for Mizzy's legs, and I'm going to connect them. And I'm going to do the same thing for his back leg. I want to draw his 2 legs that are on this side first. So I'm going to do that same boomerang shape here and here to show that he's walking and connect the lines. All right, and now I'm going to draw his back legs. I'm going to draw them a little bit smaller and in the distance to show that they're behind him, just like this. And one more in the back. There. And the last thing I need to draw for Mizzy is his short, stubby tail. We know that he has a short, stubby tail just like Owen's mama. All right, how did you do? And remember, you can always stop this video if I'm going too fast for you. Pause it and keep it going. All right, I'm pretty happy with my Mizzy. I'm going to move on to Owen next. Are you guys ready? The first thing that I'm going to draw for Owen is his back. So his back is going to be a J shape going around. So I'm going to start somewhere around here and draw a J shape sideways for Owen's back, just like this. It's like a J, letter J, but sideways. All right. Next, I'm going to draw his back leg. So this back leg is connected directly to his back, and I'm going to go with a line down just like this, and I'm gonna draw a line down below and bring it back upwards. Then I'm going to draw a curve line for his belly. And another leg right up front. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is go on to his neck. So right here, I'm going to draw a small curved line for his neck. And then I'll show you how to draw his head next. So for his head, the first thing I'm going to draw is his ear. So it's just a little loop here for his ear. Then I'm going to draw a curved line for the top of his head, followed by another loop at the top for his other ear. And then I'm going to be drawing his nose and mouth area here, which is going to connect right back to his neck. So I'm going to draw an area for his eyes first, which is just going to be a line here. So we have a space for his eyes. And then I'm going to go make a big U shape for his nose and mouth area, just like this. Were you able to do it? All right, let's add his eyes. So I'm going to draw 2 eyes for Owen. I'm going to draw his nose. And I'm going to give him a smile, just like in the story. And of course, Owen has a stubby tail too. I'm gonna give him a stubby tail. And that's it. That's all I'm gonna do with my outline for the drawing part. And I'm going to start to get my crayons ready. And of course, for Mazzy and Owen, I'm gonna be using brown and gray. Or was it gray and brown? You remember that from the story? I'm going to be using these 2 colors to color these guys in. And you guys can color with me if you like. What I'm doing here is mixing my colors just to make them look a little bit more, make my characters look a little bit more realistic like in the story. So I'm adding some brown to what I already colored gray. Now that I am all done with my Mazee and Owen drawing, it's time for the fun part, adding the setting to where they are. Now you can make your Owen and Mazee be wherever you want. You can put them under the sea, you can put them in a jungle, you can put them in a farm. It's up to you. I am going to be going with the inspirational picture and draw them right where they are near the Sabaki River. You can follow along with me, or you can go ahead and draw your own background for your characters. It is up to you. First thing I'm going to do is draw some tree outlines, just the trunks and the branches, and then I'm going to add in some shading. So the very first one I'm going to add in is going to be right here. And I'm not going to draw it starting from the bottom because I want to add some tall grasses in here where Owen and Mazee used to play hide and seek. So I'm going to start it right here. And I am using gray, I'm not using brown because I am trying to stick with the colors from the inspirational picture. And that's okay, because when you're drawing and making artwork, you can use whatever colors you like. And I'm going to draw a trunk going this way with some branches. And trees and branches are so fun to draw because they don't ever have to be perfect, because there is no tree that looks exactly the same as another one. So you just draw some wiggly lines, curvy lines. And I think I'm going to add another one here behind Mazee. Again, just some curvy lines, wiggly lines. There, I think I'm good with that. Okay. Next, I'm going to add in some purple shading. I'm just going to add in a little bit more shading to make it look like there's leaves up here, leaves on the trees. Darker blue. do is add the grasses down below, and to do that I'm just going to use my purple and my gray to draw some lines going upward like this. Some yellow stars here to show that Owen and Mazzy are walking in the moonlight. And if you don't know how to draw stars, that's okay. You can just draw dots. And that's it. That's all. The very last thing that you have to do as the artist is sign the bottom of the page. So I'm just going to write my initials here, little smiley face, and that's it. I hope you enjoyed drawing with me. I hope you loved the story as well. I can't wait to see what you create, so please send me your pictures when you're finished. Thank you so much for joining me today and spending some time with me today. I hope you had a little bit of fun, or a lot of fun, that's okay too. And I'll see you next time on another Stories and Scribbles. Bye.